Hi folks! Welcome to Living the Skye Life. If you're new here, I'm Willie.
And I'm Sarah. We're a musician and artist, and this channel is about our journey, escaping suburban life and moving to our dream home, a 200-year-old cottage on the Isle of Skye in the Scottish Highlands.
Along for the ride are our two crazy but adorable pups, Jack Spaniels and Nori.
Join us as we experience the highs and the lows of living in a remote corner of a wild Hebridean island.
This week, our excitement from last week's snowy walk switches to uncertainty as we realise that the road out of the glen is dangerously iced over once again.
As days of freezing rain and sub-zero temperatures turn the roads across the island into treacherous ice rinks, we start to wonder if our provisions will be enough to see us through the cold snap.
But while we're stuck in the glen, I head back to pick up our trail camera to see if we captured any interesting wildlife footage, while Sarah answers your questions on her favourite winter clothing to cope with the ever unpredictable Skye weather.
If you don't already, please hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with our weekly adventures. Join us as we continue.
Living the Skye Life. It's early morning and Jack and I have come out for a walk. We're going to go and get that camera trap and see what we've captured. Aren't we, Jack? Tell the people what we're doing. We're going walkies. Come on then. Good boy. Oh, you got puddles. Come on then. It's a really beautiful morning. It's nice just now, but it's to turn this afternoon. It's very, very cold, and actually most of the ground underfoot is frozen. And even with the Land Rover, it was a bit sketchy coming down here. But yeah, this is lovely. What a beautiful morning. But anyway, let's see what we can find in this camera trap. We've actually been stuck in the glen now for a few days because we attempted to get out the glen in the Land Rover and in Sarah's wee chimney last night, and we couldn't. Thankfully our freezers are well stocked because we prepared and we have enough stuff to keep us going for a couple of weeks. But the gritters are only doing the main roads, they can't get down here, and in fact one of the gritters went off the road and had to be pulled out, so that's how sketchy it is. It's just sheet ice, and the problem was freezing rain, which apparently is quite a rare phenomenon. And what happens is it comes down as normal rain, but as soon as it hits the ground it turns to ice instantly and just makes an ice rink, and it's incredibly treacherous, and it's unusual on Skye. Friday just passed, their shopping had to be cancelled, and then yesterday, which was Sunday, we were intending to go to Portree to try and top up a bit, but we couldn't go because it was too treacherous, and we actually bumped into Richard at the top of the hill, not physically, and he said guys, don't carry on because it gets even worse up the hill. So we turned around and went back down again. This is now Monday and we still can't get out of the glen. There are a hell of a lot worse places to be though, let me tell you. It's beautiful here. If you've prepared and you've got the food in the freezer, it's not such a worry. But if we didn't have that, we'd be pretty worried right now, to say the least. It can be quite difficult living in remote areas like this sometimes, but overall I would say it's very much worth it. Well, for me anyway, and for Sarah, we love it. But anyway, I'm rambling in more ways than one now. Let's crack on. Hi pal, you good boy? We just stopped here so we can look out to the sea. Sea's fine, the ground is frozen. It's very different here since the last time we were here setting the trap. It's icy, yes, but all the snow's pretty much gone, most of it anyway. Up the hill there's a bit, but down here there's none. Totally different. Equally beautiful, but in a very different way. Very slippery as well, I've got to be careful. I'm a bit sweaty now walking up this hill, but tell you what, it's beautiful up here. There's nobody else here. Jack's having the time of his life. The view is stunning. You can see the snow in the hills in the Outer Hebs. Clear day. Clouds are amazing. What a place. And then you can hear the waterfall in the background. That's the only thing you can hear. I feel very lucky to be here. Anyway, let's go and get this camera trap. Go on, Jack. I've had to put my hood up, otherwise I get bits of tree down the back of my neck, like I did the last time. Pretty dense in here. Oh, the roll's still there. Leave that, Jack. Jack was about to eat it. The fact that that roll is still there makes me think that it has not been found, obviously, and therefore we might not have any footage whatsoever, but we'll find out in a minute. Let's have a look. Correction, half the roll is there, half is gone. Let's see what's in that trap. Right then, let's see what footage we've got in here when we get home. What's this? What you got? Got some ice. Oh. This is going to be one of the most clean water areas in Europe, if not the world. It's beautifully clean coming down off the mountains, out of springs. Jack Spaniels drinks puddles every single time. To be fair, that one's not too bad. Hey Jack, we'll go back and see your mum and see Nori? Come on then, let's go. In case you were wondering where Sarah is and Nori, they're in the house. Sarah's working, but also we tend to walk the dogs alone sometimes. So I'll take Jack or I'll take Nori and vice versa. And the reason for that is because we all live in a little cottage together. And especially for the dogs, it's good for them to get a little bit of peace and quiet to themselves and get one-on-one attention. Especially with Jack being a dog that was first, you know. Nori came along and they do get on a lot better than they did at the start, to be fair. But still, it's nice to get them out by themselves and give them a bit of their own time and their own attention. It's just nice as well for Sarah to get some time alone, and me as well, just to clear our heads so we're not always under each other's feet in a small area. As much as we love each other, of course we do, it's also nice to have a little bit of peace and quiet now and again. Listen to that. That birdsong is amazing. It's so still. It just echoes round like an amphitheatre of trees. Beautiful. Very nice. Because we do a fair amount of mushroom foraging on this channel, people often ask us, when is mushroom season? Mushroom season is all the time. Sometimes of the year there's more, for example the autumn as you would expect, but there's always mushrooms. Let's have a look at these. I'm not exactly sure what they are. I'm pretty sure you can't eat them. It just goes to show. Fungus, any time of the year. This is the start of January and there's frost on the ground, there's been lots of snow, and there you go, mushrooms. So to answer that question, when is mushroom season? Now, it's always. It just started snowing. I should probably get a move on. I don't want to get stuck in the snow. Got to roll with the punches on Skye, although it is very atmospheric. It is very lovely to look at this.
So what happened with the camera trap, Willie?
Well, the camera trap was fine, but the SD card was empty. And the reason for that is that I took the batteries out of the camera trap, thinking it would be a bad idea to leave batteries in a camera trap for a long period of time. So yeah, there was nothing in there at all. There was no footage whatsoever because the SD card was no longer formatted as it had reset itself. So if you are going out with your camera trap, always check the card is formatted. Otherwise, you might end up in this situation here.
Don't. We're on day 5, I think, of being iced into the glen. First we had that snow, and then that sort of melted but then turned to ice overnight, and then we were getting freezing rain, and today the snow is back. And that now means that there's a thin layer of snow on top of that really horrible slippy sheets of ice, so it's still really dangerous. We probably could make it out of the glen if we really needed to, if it was an emergency, but honestly we've got lots of food. We're just taking the safe option and waiting until it melts. So all that talk of getting out and exploring more of Skye, that's had to wait. I thought I would come out today with Jack and answer one of the questions that we've had quite a bit, especially since Willie did his feature on all his winter gear. I had lots of people asking what I use, so I thought I would go through that with you today. If you didn't catch Willie's feature on his gear, then I'll put the episode number here somewhere and you can go check it out because it is really useful. And we do use a lot of the same brands, so we both absolutely love mountain equipment, especially for fleeces and jackets. So that's what I'm wearing today, is a thick winter fleece and a really heavy duty waterproof, because I'm worried there might be a snow, hail, sleet, shower, freezing rain, who knows. I've also got a lighter waterproof which is just for sort of day-to-day rain showers. When we lived in Fife, this is what we used to wear when we went out on mountain climbs and big hikes. This is what I wear now for daily dog walks. Because the weather on Skye is just that sort of wild and unpredictable. Another brand that we both use is Bridgedale for walking socks. Honestly, during the winter, I wear them pretty much all day, every day. They have some lightweight ones as well, which are like merino wool. I've got really super thick ones on today. They're not cheap as far as socks go, but oh my gosh, they are so good and so warm. As Willie said in his feature as well, you always need to come prepared on walks. So with me, I've got my waterproof trousers, which I think I actually bought on a trip to Skye because I was dreadfully unprepared and it was going to just rain the whole time. I've got my big winter gloves on. These are Trek mates, and these are actually a size large children's glove. Never be afraid to check out the kids sections in an outdoor shop because you don't pay tax on kids items, so often they can end up being much cheaper. So that's my first top tip. Check in the children's section if you're small enough. My rucksack is by Low Alpine and I absolutely love it. A, because it comes in my favourite colour, teal, and B, because it has these little snack pouches. They're on your waist belt, a little zippy pocket, and you just have to reach down, unzip it, and you've got a little snack. And also for dog biscuits, poo bags, lip balms, anything else that I feel the need. They're so useful. One item of clothing that I do get asked a lot about is what trousers I wear when I'm out and about, and honestly I spend pretty much 365 days a year in Acai trousers. Acai? I don't actually know how to pronounce it. Some of the things I like about them is that it's a British company, it's designed by women for outdoor clothing, and they're really eco-friendly as well. Another thing I like is that they do sizes in short, regular and long length on the trousers, which is great for me because I have some of the shortest legs known to mankind. I'm currently wearing their winter thermal trousers, which are fleece lined. Insert terrible joke by Willie here.
No, fleece lining!
Yep, couldn't let him miss out on that one. So yeah, they have a fleece lining and they are really warm and really comfortable as well. For the milder weather, I've got them in their outdoor denim. I've got black and blue ones. They do loads of types, but the thermal trousers, the outdoor skinny jeans are the ones that I like best. And you basically will see me in them all the time. Another item that I get asked about a lot and is one of the most important things in your kit is footwear. Back in 2020, I had an operation on my ankle. I had scar tissue inside the joint and I had that operation to help fix it, and it did. And ever since then, I've just been really conscious of what I wear on my feet. Gone are the days of spending all day in £4 Primark plimsolls or 4-inch platform heels going on nights out. I'm firmly in the camp of comfort over anything else. With that in mind, I really started looking at what walking boots I wanted to have, because we spend so much of our time outdoors, especially with the dogs, doing what we do here on Skye. I just wanted the best fit. Not long after my recovery from the operation, I started looking into barefoot shoes. At first I thought that it was just a bit of a gimmick. I'm now a proper convert to barefoot shoes. It's just about getting back to supporting your feet in the way that they're meant to be supported. So not having really thick chunky shoes that are doing all the work for you, and not having shoes that are too tight and pinch your toes in and make you really uncomfortable. I got my first pair of Vivo barefoot shoes a few years ago now, and I have quite literally worn them to death. They were starting to fall apart at the seams because I've worn them so much, and the very nice team at Vivo Barefoot kindly sent me a new pair, which is what I'm wearing today. I've been testing them out for the past few weeks because I wanted to make sure they were right for me, but I'm definitely keeping them because they are some of the comfiest shoes I've ever worn. They don't have a really thick sole because it's all about connecting with your environment. It doesn't mean that you feel everything and it's really painful, because I'm walking over rocks and gravel at the moment and I'm feeling no pain. I can just feel the terrain that I'm walking on, so I'm more aware of it as I'm going along. So for walking and hiking, I've got these. I do have a pair of boots for just day-to-day wear. They're a little bit shorter than these ones, a little bit thinner, and I just wear them for sort of cutting about on the nicer days, going to do the shopping, things like that. And honestly, I love them too. Like, they are just so comfortable. For the kind of walking that I do, these boots are pretty much perfect. Is he coming back? If you're thinking of giving barefoot shoes a try, then Vivo have actually given us a discount code for 20% off all the shoes on their website, which is amazing. You can try them for 100 days. If you're not happy, if they don't suit you, then you can send them back. There is a little bit of a transition period if you've not worn these types of shoes before. When I first started, I wore them for every other walk, only for a short amount of time, and then built up to using them. And now I wear them pretty much every day. Use our code SkyLife20 if you want to get 20% off, and we'll put the link in the video description below as well. If you use the code, let me know in the comments and let me know how you get on with them. The only other things to mention in my gear really are my hat. Obviously, can't forget the hat. This was hand knitted for me by Willie's auntie Sandra, which I absolutely love. Sandra and her friend Jessie also knit hats for my Etsy store. So in the same design, blue, and a yellow pom-pom at the top. Another top tip, if like me, you find woolen hats a little bit scratchy, if you get a cheap satin liner and sew it on the inside, it makes it so much nicer. The other thing I have in my rucksack today are some micro spikes, which are for icy conditions. It's basically a stretchy frame you put over your boots with some spikes on the bottom, and it helps stop you from slipping over in the ice and the snow, and they're really good in extremely icy conditions. So I wouldn't use them here, for example, because if you use them on gravel or stone, that'll damage the spikes, and it's also not slippy enough. These boots are really grippy, so I don't need them. I might put them on when I get back to the road because I actually need slipped over 2 or 3 times on the way here. So I might actually put them on. All they do is just slot over the top of your boots, and it just gives you that bit of extra confidence on the ice. That being said, they're definitely not suitable for ice climbing. You need proper crampons and ice axes and stuff for that. Another top tip from me is that if you want some outdoor clothing but it's a bit too expensive, especially brands like Mountain Equipment, check on eBay, check on Vinted. We got quite a lot of our stuff secondhand but basically unused, and if you know what you're looking for, you can find some really good deals on secondhand sites. So I think that's everything in my sort of winter gear. Please do let me know in the comments if you found that useful, or if you've got any questions about anything that we wear while we're out and about. The main thing if you're coming to Skye or anywhere in Scotland in the winter is just be prepared for every eventuality. It might be beautiful and crisp and cold like this. It might be sideways rain, you might get hail, you might get snow, ice, wind. You might get all of the above in the same hour. So it's always best to just be prepared. Lots of layers. Always have a waterproof or windproof layer, and just be prepared to be flexible if you're out and about, because if the weather changes, it might not be safe for you to do something anymore. Always have an alternative plan, so that's my best advice. It is day 7?
It's 7 days, yeah.
7 we've been stuck in the glen. We probably could have got out a couple of days earlier, but you know what, we didn't want to risk it when we didn't need to, but we're kind of feeling like we need to today.
We need to now, yeah. I mean, we are getting through our frozen foods and our cupboard foods. We've still got enough to keep us going for another week. We are running pretty low on dog food though.
Not been having any post, obviously, down to the glen because the post office vans, it's not safe for them to come over here. So we were supposed to get a delivery, it didn't happen. So we need to stock up a little bit on the dog food. You were more than willing to go out fishing every day to try and find them something to eat, but I don't think there's much mackerel this time of year.
No, I mean, it was actually going to be flatfish I was after. So I was going to go scratching, as they call it, looking for flatfish, but I didn't need to in the end.
My car, it's due in for its service before the MOT, which is next week, and it was due in this Tuesday, and that was what, 3-4 days ago, and we've not managed to get it there yet. But today the road out of the glen got gritted a couple of days ago, and there's been fresh snow today, so hopefully it's nice and grippy. We've both got good tyres. I've got winter tyres, you've got all
terrains, yeah.
So we think we're going to be fine. Richard's given us the green light to give it a go.
Yeah, we asked his advice, he says you'll be fine, so we're going to go now, and I'll film a bit of the road so you can see what it's like. It's not like sheet ice anymore, because that was terrifying. This is actually not that bad to drive on. It's nice and crunchy, it's fine.
It was on our track, because our track obviously doesn't get gritted because it's not a public road, so that solid sheet of ice is still there under the snow. So in places it was a bit sketchy, but we both got down there fine.
Yeah.
And we're feeling pretty confident going.
Very confident, let's do this.
Very confident going out the glen. Let's go.
Yay.
See you at the garage.
See you there. Yolanda, you dancer. I think I just saw the Greta. I did see the Greta. I wonder if they're going down our road. And there you can see how the roads are everywhere else apart from where we are. This is when it changes up.
We just got food.
How many days is it now that we haven't had a shop?
This is actually the 11th day since we left the glen, I realised.
Day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because we didn't actually leave before Hogmanay because it was really bad storms.
Yeah.
And then Hogmanay we stayed in, and then we got snowed on. And we're getting snowed on again. Yeah, she is. Yo, yo, Yolanda.
Bit snowy. We made it back!
We got home!
Both cars behaved incredibly well, so we're really chuffed. Yolanda didn't even move at all. She didn't lose any traction at all in the whole time we were driving.
My car's really good. It's so much better than my old car as well, so it's definitely shown me that we made the right decision.
People were asking about snow chains. You can't drive in the UK with snow chains on unless there's an uninterrupted, like, thick layer of snow or ice between the chains and the road, because if you drive with snow chains on, you're going to damage the road, and that's actually against the law. So you're only allowed to drive with snow chains in certain circumstances, and we haven't had that circumstance yet here.
While there is a long stretch of ice going out of the glen, it's not uninterrupted. There's bits of road. You'd have to take them on and off. And also, I really wouldn't want to navigate a cattle grid.
No, and there's loads of them. So anyways, that's why we don't have snow chains. That's why we don't use snow chains. We've got winter tyres and all-terrain tyres, and it seems that we'll do okay with that. If it's, sheet ice, then we're not going to drive because it's just too dangerous. So there you go.
Yeah. And it looks like another 3 or 4 days before it's going to melt. So I think we did the right thing today. Tomorrow is going to be -2.
Yeah.
So it's all going to freeze. Although the gritter did come down. We passed the gritter. Hey! A massive shout out to all the people driving the gritters in Scotland and across the UK at the moment. Doing an amazing job. I know a lot of people get grumpy when they don't get their roads gritted as quickly as they'd like, but honestly it must be such a difficult job and really scary. 2 gritters came off the road, didn't they, on Skye?
Yeah, I think one was on his roof.
Yeah, so yeah, anyone who does that job, amazing. And we'd love to know what you do for the rest of the year. What do gritters do for the rest of the year when it's not snowy?
How do we get to work in the morning?
Right, we better get all the shopping unpacked. We might have got a bit mental because we ended up spending £300 at Co-op.
Did we?
Yep.
Oh, the pain! I'm Scottish!
But you know what? We haven't done a food shop for like 2 weeks now. and we're not going to do another one for another week. So technically it's like 3 weeks worth of shopping.
There you go.
And we did basically empty our freezer and store cupboards.
So we had to top them up again. Basically 3 weeks in one, isn't it?
Yeah. Better get it put away.
Before it all melts.
Yeah. As always, folks, thank you so much for watching our video. We really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please do leave us a like, a comment, or subscribe if you don't already. It's free to do, helps our channel to grow, and you get notified when our new videos come out, which is every week, Sunday night, 6 PM UK time.
If you did enjoy the video and you'd like to support the channel further, you can do so over on Ko-fi by buying us a coffee with dogs that we treat, and what I really mean is, you help with the running costs of making these videos for you every week.
Or if you want to help us out more long term, you can join our amazing community over on Patreon, where you get bonus content by helping us out each month.
If you're interested in our creative endeavours, you can go to Sarah's Etsy store for her artworks.
Or for Willie's original music, you can head across to his Bandcamp page, where you can find that there, including his 2 full songs, The Storm and These Old Walls.
Plus a lot of the music that you hear on these videos as well.
If you're interested in trying Vivo barefoot shoes and you want to use our code, it's here below. SkyLife20 gets you 20% discount off all of their shoes on the website, and the link to that and all of our pages will be in the video description below.
Thanks again for watching, and we will see you next week.
Bye, folks.
Bye, folks.
Did you forget this time?
No, I was waiting for you, then I was going to say it after you. Should we just do it at the same time?
Okay, right. 3, 2, 1.
Bye, folks. Whoa. We're leaving our suburban life, moving over the sea to Skye. Are we chasing a dream? I guess in time we will see, when we're living the Skye life. Living the Skye life.
I'm trying to remember how to stop.
Thanks so much for watching.
As always. As always. Yeah. And
that's a dog's wagging tail.
and oh no, don't fart. Yes, it's quite big, isn't it?
You filming?
Yeah. As always, we really hope you. Oh, that was very loud.
What was loud?
You see why it's dangerous, guys?
And what I really mean is, and okay, why do I forget when I say that?
I don't know. You
It's
say it
just how I
every
say
week.
it every single week.
It's different from what Willie wears. What Willie wears?
You can go to Sarah's Etsy store for a cough, or you can go to Boots and get some cough remedy.
Hi, Jack. Out the way, come on. Out the way. Come on. Jack, come on.
Jack, nobody wants to see your butt.
Or if you're interested in...
Forgot my name. Forgot my name now. Okay.
Willie's arm got sore.
Yeah, because I was holding it like that for about half an hour. You ready? Are you ready?
Whoa. That was deep. Come on. Thanks, Jack. Alright, monkey.
Because we do a fair amount of mushroom foraging on the channel, peeping Tom. Click here to subscribe to live in the Skye life.
Click here to go back to the start of our adventures with our very first episode.